I guess we go ahead to Kamala Harris. She's making some mistakes. One of the mistakes she made was running for president. The other mistake she made was being an attorney general, being a Democrat running for president. The other mistake was being a prosecutor and being a Democrat and running for president. I've always said, hey, man, she just picked the wrong party. By the way, I said the same thing about Clinton and Obama, several of the neoliberals. They should have. I just think they're in the wrong party. Or maybe we just need a new party. Hey, a new party. Movement for a People's Party, Nick. Sup, bruh? All right, so check this out, guys. Kamala Harris, she's being a bull in the china shop, running into every one of the plates, knocking them down, destroying cabinets. She's just doing it again. Here goes Kamala Harris in a recent gaffe where she had to apologize.
What happened to people of color? So I don't buy that argument that impeachment does not make sense, Senate will acquit. I don't buy that argument. There needs to be accountability. I mean, what are you going to do in the next 1 year to diminish the mentally retarded action of this guy?
Well said. Well said. Well, I plan to win this election, I'll tell you that.
29% of voters who previously supported California Senator Kamala Harris have switched to supporting Warren. It was a rough weekend for Harris, who had to apologize after a man attending one of her town halls called President Trump's actions mentally retarded. And she responded with,
Well said. Well said.
Harris later told CBSN's Caitlin Huey Burns she didn't hear the man's full comments.
It was not something that I really heard or processed or, or in any way condone. That's for sure.
Okay, so he said, he was talking about Donald Trump and he said, we need to impeach Donald Trump. What's going to happen to brown people? And he said, how are you going to deal with the mentally retarded guy? And she said, well said. Well, one thing I'm going to do is I'm going to run for president and I'm going to win. Now, guys, look, maybe me being a product of Prince George's County Public Schools and then PG Community College and Northern Virginia Community College, a couple of classes, maybe maybe I don't listen so well. But I got to imagine if someone says something to you like, hey, there goes a nice car over there. It looks like a really nice car. It's a beautiful car. And you go, hey, well said. I would kind of think you understood what the person said because you just told them you heard them and you agree with them. Well, over the weekend, Kamala Harris has been apologizing about this because, as usual with Kamala Harris, just because she says something don't mean she means it. Dog, you're running for president, and every time out your mouth, you are saying something and then taking it back. Now, we know, Kamala Harris is, 54? She's not that much older than me. I remember a time when people used to use the word retarded, right? It's a word people used to use. I think it was a clinical term at one point, right? So, yeah, I get it. But why not just say, hey, I'm sorry, you're right. The guy said it. I laughed. I wasn't thinking about how it would impact other people. Not funny. That's my bad. It won't happen again. And I apologize, not only for him, but for myself and for anybody, and to anyone who was offended. I'm deeply regretted. I definitely didn't mean it to hurt anyone or to make anyone feel less than. And that's not the way I would run my office, and it definitely was unintentional. It was a moment, a lax. I was not prepared. I wasn't thinking. And I hope that you guys can forgive me and we can move on. And I'll be committed to rooting out that type of bigotry or negative talk or whatever. Whatever the politicians say. Something like that. And I know that's not probably a perfect spokesmodel explanation for why you would laugh at, that. But it got to be better than coming across as a lying piece of garbage that just makes up stuff and then denies and then makes people believe that you think they're idiots and morons because they can't hear or like they misinterpreted what you just said. Like, do you want pizza? Yes, I would like pizza. Hey, you said you wanted pizza. No, I didn't. I was saying maybe spaghetti would be good. That's Kamala Harris, and it's been Kamala Harris all along. But that's not the only reason why she's dropping in the polls, if you believe the polls. But that's, there's more reasons. More reasons. Don't get me wrong, that's good, though, because I think character has a lot to do with what people plan to do with their vote, right? But you being a person who can't seem to speak and know what you're saying, you sign on to legislation like Medicare for All, and all of a sudden you don't remember or you disagree with the legislation that you sponsored. I mean, this is a running thing with Kamala Harris. It keeps happening. When are we going to say that Kamala Harris' lack of integrity, Kamala Harris's inability to keep her story straight, Kamala Harris' propensity to change, 180 degrees on any subject, it's not a bug, but it's a feature. When are we just going to say that, Johnson? When are we just going to admit, you know what? Not really somebody you want to put a whole lot of stock in because it's not somebody you can trust at all. Back in the 90s, there was these cars called Sterlings. They look good on the outside, but they was some crap, yo. I'm not even going to say Kamala looks good on the outside because I don't even want to go there. But maybe she looks good on paper in some way. I don't know if you're a Republican. But that dog don't hunt, that car don't run, that car going to break down, and that's what she keep doing. Every time she opens her mouth, she back to being Gaffe, Kamala Harris, and she's going to continue to fall.
The media narrative nationally the last couple of weeks has been that there's now a top three of the former vice president and Senators Sanders and Warren. Do you buy that, or are you part of that top tier?
Well, of course I'm part of the top tier, and we all know that.
That top tier.
Well, of course I'm part of the top tier, and we all know that.
Or are you part of that top tier?
Well, of course I'm part of the top tier, and we all know that.
And this is a campaign that has to be about each person working hard and earning the support I plan on earning.
And as the Democratic candidates gear up for ABC's debate Thursday night, our new poll with the Washington Post shows a clear top tier pulling away for now from the rest of the pack. Joe Biden still on top with 27%, Bernie Sanders with 19%, and a rising Elizabeth Warren.
God, man. Woo! Very clearly, I'm a top tier, Johnson. According to our records, the top tiers are not including you. It's like, oh, it's so sweet sometimes. Karma. Sometimes things don't work out right, but sometimes they work out just fine, dog. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, because you remember you guys, right? When she was, well, screw Tulsi Gabbard. She's not a top-tier candidate. I'm a top-tier candidate.
Tulsi Gabbard, had you had interaction about that in the past, and how do you think it went?
Well, I mean, listen, this is going to sound immodest, but I'm obviously a top-tier candidate, and so I did expect that I would be on the stage and take hits tonight because there are a lot of people that are trying to make the stage for the next debate.
Yeah, for a lot of them, it's do or die.
Well, yeah, and especially when people are at 0 or 1% or whatever she might be at. And
I'm the bee's knees. I'm the knuckles buckles. I'm the top of the echelon. And who's this French candidate asking me about my record? I'm well above her. Obviously, she's trying to use me to rise in the ranks. Obviously. Oh, okay. Fast forward a month later. Do you realize statistically, in the marginal era, Tulsi Gabbard and Kamala Harris are tied in these polls. And in some of the polls, considering the margin of error, Tulsi Gabbard may be in front of Kamala Harris. Folks, I'm trying to tell you, there is a God. Well, I don't know. Maybe. I hope so. Something. It's got to be a reason for all of this, Johnson. I don't know. I hope something. I don't know. I really don't know. You won't know till you find out. But something's going on. Let's call it the karma nature. So,